Hi guys and welcome back here to Drone Emotion. Today we're back here once again with a brand new video, and this time around we have one of the most exciting videos we've ever had in a very long time, and this is because we're less than 24 hours away for the actual unveil of the brand new DJI Inspire 3, and well, our great friend Igor Bogdanov was able to get his hands on the full spec sheet in addition to the specs of the controller, the lenses, the cameras. Everything has been leaked regarding the upcoming Inspire 3, and in today's video we're going to be sharing with you absolutely every single detail that you need to know about DJI's latest and greatest drone, the Inspire 3. But before we get started with today's video, if you're new to the channel, welcome here. And you want to keep up to date with any upcoming DJI product, whether it is the Inspire 3, which is about to be released, or possibly if you're interested in the brand new Mavic 3 Pro or the Air 3, you already know this is the place to come for all of the latest updates and news. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into today's video, which will be quite an exciting one to say the least. It might be a little bit longer than usual, but I promise you it's gonna be well worth it, because we're gonna be taking an in-depth look at every single spec of the brand new Inspire 3. So this info is coming thanks to our great friend Igor Bogdanov. Once again, thanks to him for getting this incredible piece of information. So once again, thanks to him. So with that out of the way, I want to go ahead and start by taking the first look at a promotional image of the Inspire 3 full HD image, and from then we're gonna go ahead and move on to the actual specs of the drone. So let's go ahead and take a look at how this brand new Inspire 3 will be looking. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the brand new Inspire 3. It looks absolutely stunning. As you can notice, we do have a relatively similar design to what we have on the previous Inspire 2. We can see how a lot of cues were actually taken from this drone, and it was only improved upon. Now, for 6 years of development, I actually expected to see more drastic changes, but it looks like they were not needed. But I do like the fact that DJI is still sticking with the same color scheme, that matte gray and dark with that matte carbon fiber on the arm. It looks absolutely beautiful. It looks like an absolute fighter jet. So that is going to be the Inspire 3. Now let's go ahead and move on to the good stuff, which is the actual specs, because the drone can be beautiful, but if it does not have the specs that are up to par with its design, there's no point, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at what this brand new Inspire 3 will be packing. So here we have the complete spec sheet of the brand new Inspire 3. So we're gonna go ahead and start on from the upper left hand corner, and then we're gonna go ahead and move our way down and then to the right. So let's go ahead and talk about the stream-like design. We now have a lightweight integrated body, which offers an all-new configuration design and significantly improved mobility and control experience. We'll touch on that a little bit later on. Now, you can notice that we have two cameras, the main camera, and then we have an FPV camera right on the top, and it's going to be Inspire 3 FPV camera, which will feature a 1/1.8 inch sensor. It's going to have a 161-degree ultra-wide field of view, and up to full HD 60 frames per second live feed to ensure flight safety day and night, this is going to be game changer for sure. We also do have centimeter level RTK positioning and orientation, and we're going to be having dual stack ceramic antennas, which will be built in to support 3 types of satellite system, as well as both RTK base station and network RTK, delivering centimeter level positioning and ensuring stable and reliable flight orientation. Now, something that we were wondering was, the protection regarding optical avoidance, and it will look like we're going to be having omnidirectional sensing system, which will be enabled by 6 fish eyes, 2 wide-angle cameras, and 2 downward sensing sensors. Now we're going to be having foldable propellers, just like we mentioned a few weeks ago. Now this is going to allow us to store the trolley case with no need for detachment, convenient for scene transitions and fast use. Let's talk about flight time. 28 minutes of flight time, and this drone will support battery hot swapping, which is also supported to improve creative efficiency. So that is the specs of the drone as a whole. Something that I'm quite surprised is the flight time, only 28 minutes. I was expecting at least 30. Taking into consideration the fact that the Inspire 2 only got 23 minutes, so it's only about a 5-minute improvement upon the Inspire 2, which to me is really not that impressive, at least in 2023. So that's one of the things that I'm a little bit disappointed on. I'm going to be honest with you. Now let's go ahead and move on to the camera. What will this drone be capable of shooting? So let's take a closer look at the camera, and then we're going to go ahead and move on to the specs. So here we have the brand new camera. This will be the Zenmuse X9 apparently. There we can clearly see the actual camera, and then we have different lenses that we're going to be able to attach now. Here we have the camera, and everything we're going to go ahead and talk about will be in the Inspire 3. So let's start by on the left hand side. With this will be a tailor-made full frame 8K sensor, up to 8K at 75 frames per second or 4K at 120 frames per second, which is pretty good. And it will also support 4K 120 with full frame with no cropping. This is very important, no cropping at 120 frames. Now, this drone will support Cinema DNG as well as ProRes RAW codecs. This will support Apple ProRes 422 HQ and H.264. This drone will also have a dual native ISO and up to 14 stops of dynamic range, which is absolutely incredible. Also, it will have max 80-degree obstruction field free tilt, which is a good improvement upon the last generation. And it will also support the 360-degree obstruction free pan. And also we're going to be having timecode sync, a DJI Pro solid state drive of 1 terabyte will be included, which is really good. And here we have the different lenses that will be available. We'll be having a 18mm lens, a 24, a 35, and a 50mm lens as an option. So here to the right we have the actual camera and the lens. So that is what we have in terms of camera specs and capabilities, which I do think it's a big improvement upon the micro four thirds sensors that we had on the Inspire 2. We now have a full frame sensor, so you can only imagine the kind of footage that we're going to be able to obtain from this camera, particularly during low light scenarios. Now, the last thing that we're missing in terms of specifications is the controller and the transmission system that this drone will be packing. So we anticipated that it was going to have OcuSync 3. So let's go ahead and take a look at what DJI decided to include in this brand new Inspire 3. So this drone will be utilizing the DJI RC Plus, which is a brand new controller. Relatively, it was released by DJI a year ago, and this controller by itself retails for $1,599, so $1,600, which is a really high price tag. But this controller is up to par with the kind of drone that the Inspire 3 is. So let's go ahead and take a look at the specs. So here we have it in all its glory. Here's what we have in terms of specs for the transmission system. So the DJI RC Plus will be included, which will have a 7-inch display, and it's going to have a brightness of 1200 nits, which is really good. It will be having OcuSync 3 as expected. It's going to be O3 Pro cinematic grade video transmission, which will allow us to get 1080p at 60 frames per second live feed at a max transmission range of 15 kilometers and distance in single control mode will be up to 12 kilometers in dual mode. So if you're flying with two pilots, that is going to be your range, which will be 12 kilometers as a maximum. This drone will support 4K live feed, which is really important and necessary, and also will have independent links for dual control, allowing us to have two pilots, one for the camera, one for the drone itself. And we're also going to be having RC battery hot swapping. This is very important. So the battery will give us about 3.5 hours of operating time and an extended 6 hours with an external battery. And this drone will apparently be using the DJI Pilot 2 app. So no longer the DJI Fly app, which is quite interesting to note, as this is a pro model drone. And professional accessories like strap and waist support for comfortable and efficient use will be included. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been the full specs for the brand new Inspire 3. I apologize for how long this video is gonna be, but I think it is very important that we go through every single spec, as I know all of you guys were eager to know what they were after 6 years of waiting. But well, there they are, the specs of the Inspire 3. Let me know down in the comment section down below, what are your thoughts on the Inspire 3? Do you think it's what you were expecting? Is it less? Or you think it's gonna be a significant drone, or do you think the specs could have been better after 6 years of development? But with that being said, that will be a wrap for today. Thanks so much for watching, and see you tomorrow with a brand new video. This is Drone Emotion, signing out.